Good morning, everybody. We'll begin today's session now. This is the first question for the day. Shown below is an image with straight lines in which tilted square has been cut out. From the given options, identify the missing cutout of the square that completes the original image. Okay. In this case, what is crucial is to check out the spacing. Where there's a thick line which is given, which is a good thing because that forms our reference. When I say spacing, what I mean is this spacing, for instance. Okay. If I try searching out that spacing, it happens on the right side of the thicker line, and then it is smaller compared to the spacing. Ye left wala bada hai compared to the right one. Okay. So where do we find that? In option B, this is bigger. Okay. So वो also B में वो वाला आपका actually left side पे आ रहा है, so वो गलत है option. With case of option A, it happens on the right, it's smaller. With case of option C, the smaller part is where the thinner line happens, so C भी गलत है. Between A and D, if you try comparing both of them together, you will notice one more difference which is happening is in this spacing, which happens here and the one that happens here. दोनों अलग अलग. Which one is correct? If you look at that part, वो यहाँ पे हो रहा है, ये वाला spacing है, जो छोटा है. It's not how it is shown in D, so D भी गलत है, और आपका option A is the one which is the correct one. Okay, move to the next one. This is the same thing with the image traced. You can see it's exactly how it happens in A. A shirt with folded marks and the folding sequence is shown in the image. The following is the folding is done backwards and perfectly along the lines. After completing all the folds, the t-shirt is then turned around. Identify the correct folded t-shirt from the options on the right. Okay, we have to identify which is the correct folded t-shirt. Now here, if you notice, it's very easy. We know that ye wala part, ye jo niche wala part hai, that is the one which will be seen at the back. Here, what I've done is when you rotate it like that, uska ye wala version liya hai. Fir, after this, we are also turning it back. So, correct answer iska mirror aayega, which is option C. So, henceforth, C is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. A paper strip is rolled and then punched by a triangular punch as shown below. After unrolling the paper strip, what would be the pattern of the holes on the paper? We are given here the top view, isometric, front view and the side view. And then we are also given in the isometric view how the punching of that triangular punch is going to happen. We are to identify after the punching is done, when you unroll this paper, क्या pattern form होगा punching की वजह से. Okay. Our clue here is actually your top view. If you see, ये rotate, ये जब खोलोगे, ये वाला आपका for example पूरा sheet है, ये जब आप खोलोगे, तो एक punch आपका नीचे के side आएगा, because ये नीचे के, this is the lower end punch and this is the higher end punch, ऊपर वाला. ये lower end है और ये higher end ऊपर की side है. So नीचे आएगा एक punch, फिर यहाँ से फिर आप जब यहाँ पे आओगे रोल होते होते, तब ये ऊपर नीचे से ऊपर जाएगा. फिर वापस से यहाँ पे आओगे तो ये वापस नीचे आएगा, और फिर यहाँ से फिर ऊपर जाओगे तो आपका नेक्स्ट वाला पंच ऊपर जाएगा. सो लाइक वाइट विल बी इन दिस काइंड ऑफ अ zigzag पैटर्न. अभी ऐसा zigzag एक ही जगह पे दिख रहा है आपको, which is option D, which is this one. So correct answer is option D. Okay, we'll move to the next. Identify the option that will replace the question mark. We're given here sequence, और यहाँ पे कौन सा figure आएगा वो ढूंढना है. Okay. In this case, if you look at the sequence, ये यहाँ पे आया, यहाँ से फिर वो थोड़ा rotate हुआ इस side, फिर वो वापस थोड़ा रोटेट हुआ, वापस थोड़ा रोटेट होगा यहाँ से. सो द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन सी. ओके, बी और सी में थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है, बट बी सी के बाद आएगा इफ यू लुक एट द दिस मच पार्ट. ओके, move to the next. How should the two solids be joined in order to form a tetrahedron? You have to form a tetrahedron. You have to identify how will these two solids join. Okay, we'll solve this now. When you complete the whole tetrahedron in figure 2, this is how it will look like. So C or I एक साथ आएगा, A और F, this is F. What you see this point, this is F. A और F साथ में आएगा और B और G साथ में आएंगे. So the correct answer here is option B. Okay. Sure. We'll move to the next one. Perspective view of an object is shown below. The object is rotated 180 degree around y-axis and then similarly rotated 180 degree around z-axis. हमको यहाँ पे axis भी दिए है, ये object है. Which of the following perspective view options will be the result of the rotations? Okay. इसको हम पहले 180 डिग्री वाई एक्सिस रोटेट करेंगे. सो 180 डिग्री वाई एक्सिस मतलब वाई एक्सिस ये फिक्स रहेगा और ये क्लॉकवाइज रोटेट होगा 180 डिग्री. वाई क्लॉकवाइज? बिकॉज हमको ये पॉजिटिव एक्सिस अज्यूम करना है, दैट्स व्हाई. ओके, सो क्लॉकवाइज जब हम रोटेट करेंगे तो ये वाला है, मैं सिर्फ इतना पार्ट ड्रॉ करूंगी अभी. ये वाला जो पार्ट है आपका वो ऐसा कुछ दिखेगा रफली. ओके, नीचे आके रोटेट हो. नाउ आफ्टर दिस व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज मैं जेड एक्सिस के अलोंग रोटेट कर रही हूँ. जेड एक्सिस के अलोंग रोटेट करोगे तो आपका ये साइड पे रोटेट होगा. ओके, सो आफ्टर दिस आई एम रोटेटिंग अलोंग जेड एक्सिस. सो ये रोटेशन यहाँ से फिर ऐसे आएगा, फ्रॉम दिस टू दिस, फ्रॉम दिस टू दिस और फिर फ्रॉम दिस टू दिस. सो द करेक्ट आंसर हियर इज ऑप्शन ए. ओके, ये वाला पार्ट जो नीचे है वो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है आपको वेरी क्लियरली. दैट्स फाइन. We'll move to the next one. A cube and a truncated cone are shown below. The cube has a dimension of 10 by 10 by 10 units. The truncated cone has a base diameter of 12 units, height of 11 units, top diameter of 6 units. Imagine these solids are intersecting while positioned coaxially on the same base. Further, imagine the cube vanishes completely along with the intersected portion of the truncated cone. What will remain then? Okay. हम लोग डिमेंशन लिख लेते हैं. ये 10 बाय 10 बाय 10 का क्यूब है. ये हमारा हाइट है 11, बेस का डायमीटर इज 12, ऊपर का डायमीटर इज 6. नाउ इफ यू ऑब्जर्व व्हेन दे बोथ कोइंसाइड, आपका कोन का 1 यूनिट ये साइड और 1 यूनिट ऑन दिस साइड इतना ही बाहर रहेगा, विच इज लेस. और ऊपर से भी आपका एक ही यूनिट बाहर रहेगा. ओके, सो स्ट्रेट अवे ऑप्शन डी तो गलत ही है. ऑप्शन बी में आपको इंटरसेक्टेड पार्ट दिखाया है, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. बिटवीन ए एंड सी इफ यू लुक एट इट, ये इसका जो प्रपोर्शन है वो एक्चुअली 2 यूनिट्स के बराबर है. सो सी भी गलत है. हेंस फोर्थ ऑप्शन ए इज द वन which is the correct answer. Okay, move to the next one. Which option will replace the question mark? Okay, यहाँ पे आपको सीक्वेंस दिया है, यहाँ पे कौन सा फिगर आएगा वो ढूंढना है आपको. Here, if you look at all the options, the sequence which is provided, there's one very crucial thing to note is the part which remains fixed. जैसे ये part fixed रहता है आपका throughout. So obviously fourth figure में भी that part will remain the same. अभी option D में वो part अलग है, so D गलत है वहां पे. Next, the part which remains the same is this and this part, this and this part, this and this part. So option में सभी A में येलो येलो है, so ये गलत है क्योंकि येलो और यहाँ पे white होना चाहिए. This part is wrong. B is fine and C is also fine. After that, we'll look at the green part. ये green patch same है सब में, वो B और C में भी same है, वो भी problem नहीं. and then white and orange, white and orange, white and orange remains the same. Here also white and orange remains the same. So these are the parts which are actually remaining constant. Besides these parts which are given here, there is certain thing which is changing. वो यहाँ पे change हो रहा है. ये जो hexagon है, उसके along that change happens. So this hexagon यहाँ पे, ये hexagon यहाँ पे आएगा ऐसा, which is changing, and then ये hexagon यहाँ पे आएगा जिसके along change हो रहा है color. So ये जो येलो और ब्लू वाला पार्ट है यहाँ से यहाँ पे शिफ्ट हो रहा है, येलो और ब्लू यहाँ से यहाँ पे शिफ्ट हो रहा है. सो ऑब्वियसली नेक्स्ट येलो एंड ब्लू विल कम हियर. वो बी में दिख रहा है आपको, सी में नहीं है, सी में नीचे के साइड है. सो सी इज रॉन्ग एंड ऑप्शन बी इज द वन विच इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन. Afreen is a teacher. She decides to give biscuits to her students, Javed, Jay, Joshua, and Jaspreet. She has biscuits of 4 different sizes, all of which have the same perimeter and thickness. The proportion of these biscuits we are given here, P, Q, R, S. She asked Javed, Jay, Joshua, and Jaspreet in that order to pick up biscuits in descending order, which is largest to smallest order of volume. Which biscuits should Jay and Jaspreet pick up respectively? Now in this case we know perimeter और thickness same है. So all we have to look into कि area में क्या फर्क आ रहा है. वही फर्क आएगा आपका volume में from largest to smallest when we are arranging it. Okay. So here if we assume कि P वाला जो biscuit है वो square है, वो 4x4 unit से बना हुआ है. In that case Q will be made up of a 3x5 unit. 4x4 मतलब ये 16 area होगा, इसका 15 area होगा. Likewise, this will be made up of 2x6, which is a 12 unit area, and S will be a 1x7, which is actually a 7 unit area. Okay, so all of them are actually arranged in descending order only, that way. So P वाला जो है वो जावेद को मिलेगा, Q वाला जो है वो जय को मिलेगा, R वाला जो है वो जोशुआ को मिलेगा, एंड S वाला जो है वो जसप्रीत को मिलेगा. The one that Jaspreet and Jay would receive is Q and S. So option C is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, Q and S. We'll move to the next one. A crocodile is at point Q. A crocodile at point Q sees 4 meatballs at A, B, C, and D across the river. The crocodile moves with the same speed on the ground as in the water. The speed of the river is half the speed of the crocodile. Which meatball can he catch in the shortest time? So in this case, if the river was not flowing, in that case, the crocodile would have gone straight and taken the meatball C. But now we know the river is flowing in this direction and it is half the speed of the crocodile. So यहाँ से it will shift like this 100 meters. 100 meters shift होके ये point पे आएगा and then it goes straight and it eats the meatball B. So B is the correct answer. Okay. If it were given instead of half it was equal to, तो A आता. But यहाँ पे half speed दिया है, so इसलिए B आएगा. Okay. We'll move to the next one. A black shape from the options will match the white shape using simple rotation. Which of the black shape from the options will match the white shape using the simple rotation? We cannot use mirror, rotation is possible. Okay. In this case, what we will check is we can check easily this much part. ये वाला जो angle है, ये वाला जो angle है वो A में गलत है क्योंकि ये छोटा है. ये वाला problem, ये वाला edge problematic है. So A is wrong. In case of B, this is at some angle versus ये 90 degree है question figure में. So D भी गलत है. Between B and C, if you see, B और C एक दूसरे के mirror है. एक ही option आएगा. So दोनों में से. If C you rotate it along this axis, तो आपका ये same profile मिलेगा जो question figure है में है. So B is wrong and C is the correct answer. Okay. We'll move to the next one. Okay. Jaya, Sushma, Rama, Dilip, Sudhir, and Arun are doctors working in a hospital specializing in gynae, neurology, pediatric, orthopedic, anesthetic, and intensive care. Not necessarily in the same order. What is Rama's specialization if the following conditions are to be met? Okay. First, what we are given is Jaya, Arun, and Sushma. Jaya, Arun, and Sushma, they work together. So, Jaya, Arun, Sushma, they work together. Neurosurgeon and orthopedic. Neurosurgeon, orthopedic, they will work together. Orthopedic surgery cannot happen at the same day as gynecological surgery. Gynec and pediatrician will work together. Though Sudhir and Dilip work together, they have not met Sushma. So we know another pair is Sudhir and Dilip. Also, we know that all specializations except intensive care need to work with Arun, who is an anesthetist. So Arun will also be working with them, like Arun is working with Jaya and Sushma. And doctors do not work together other than as mentioned above. So obviously, we are left with intensive care of all of them. And then we are also left with Rama specialization. So Rama will be working in intensive care. Option B is the one which is the correct answer. Okay. Move to the next one. Shown below on the left is a Ferris wheel which is not in motion. A photographer has clicked a photograph of the Ferris wheel while it was rotating at its maximum speed in an anti-clockwise direction. Which of the option below is the image that he has captured? So when this Ferris wheel, if you look at the options together, all the four options, you'll find that A और B में दो rotations है, एक ये वाला और एक ये वाला. So दोनों options गलत है, and C is the one which is also wrong क्योंकि C में clockwise movement है, and D is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll end today's session on this note. Thank you so much.